it's Amanda Green from Living a Simple Budget Family Life, and I just wanted to talk to you about the caravan, the plan today, and our budget as well. So what we are dealing with obviously is 8 foot here and 24. Okay, so yeah, the van is an 8 foot by 24 foot van, and I just wanted to point out the top there, the orange box is where the refrigerator has to go because the ventilation is right behind it. Okay, so yeah, so this is the plan. So we've got the tow hitch up here, so this is the front of the van, and here is the first built sort of structure we're going to be doing, and that is the wall. And then starting at the back, sort of furniture and other structure wise, we've got, we're going to do an L-shaped bunk. So there's the bed 1, let's put that in there, bed 1 and 2 above it, and bed 3 and 4. This is going to be a storage unit, so we're hoping to be able to do sort of triangular sort of cubby holes, 2 levels obviously, so each child gets a triangular cubby hole storage section, and underneath the triangular cubby is going to be something we can access from outside a storage unit, and we're thinking maybe the batteries, we'll have to give it some more thought, but that's where our heads are at the moment. So in here is going to be the bathroom, and we're going to be doing something different here with this window. We're going to be cutting it into 2 and making 2 sort of separate little windows out of the one space, and using the wall there as the centre point sort of divider for the window. So effectively it's 2 smaller windows, one for the kids' room for ventilation and cross flow with that other window over there, and one for the bathroom. So at this point in time, we're just going to do a composting toilet, and obviously have the space down the road for a shower and a basin for a couple of reasons. It's a little bit out of our skill set just right now, and budget as well. So coming into the main room, we're going to do a really big L-shaped sort of built-in lounge that goes all the way to the door, and here is just going to be like a storage cubby for shoes, etc. Now this L-shaped lounge is going to be converted into a bed for Lee and I, and this wall here, sort of adjoining the bathroom and the L-shaped lounge, is going to be sort of like a feature wall with timber pallets that are not painted or anything, just exposed and weathered. So the kitchen is, wobbly line. The kitchen is going to be an L-shaped kitchen, and we have a sink, and that is pretty much it. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the kitchen, the kitchen over here, and the bunk setup, because I want to just show you what we're going to be using to construct them. So this design was planned out keeping in mind what we've got to use as well, in terms of like timber and pieces of furniture that we actually want to go in there. So that is the general plan / layout. It could possibly change, it's certainly not set in stone. I just want to insert now the clips regarding the beds, so you'll see the sort of the shelving units that we're going to be using on both sides here for the bed, as the base, and then you'll also see the chest of drawers that we're going to be cutting up to create the base of the kitchen cabinets. So yeah, those will get inserted now. Okay, and here is the unit that we're going to be using to create the base of the bunk. So this is obviously the top of the bottom one, and each bunk will have 4 drawers and the cupboard in the middle. So that's the base for both bunks right there. And this here is the chest of drawers that we're going to be cutting to create the base of the kitchen. Okay, what I wanted to quickly show you here was the sketch of the kitchen. Now, keeping in mind that chest of drawers that I've just shown you, it is the perfect height for a kitchen bench. We're using the 4 bottom drawers. So we're going to be using those 4 bottom drawers as one side of the kitchen there. The 2 smaller, not smaller, but 2 shorter drawers for the second half, and we're going to create a shelf and use it for our water storage or possibly a microwave. We're just going to see if we can get the water to fit there. If not, the water's going to have to go over here. So you can see L-shaped kitchen. There's my dimensions. I'm not the best sketcher in the world, but you sort of get a gist of, you know, where the sink's going to go over, far over to the that side of the van. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the way that we've decided that to sort of play out. And yeah, it's going to cost us nothing. Kitchen cabinets, if you buy them, you know, flat pack ready to go, for these sort of bigger sort of corner unit pieces, you know, you're looking at like $500 for a flat pack. It was just ridiculous. So we're going to use what we've got and put a coat of paint on it, and then use timber pallets and oil it up and sand it all back and plane it for the top. Plus the sink that we found, and I have a video coming up on a few little finds from the tip shop as well, because we got the sink from the dump. So yeah, that is the way that the kitchen's going to go. Okay, and here is my sort of rough little sketch of the bunk. So you've seen the drawer unit, and that's what it's going to be sort of up on the base. The ladder in the middle, so we can still access the section in the middle, and we're going to be removing the actual door. So we'll probably just have it with baskets for shoes or toy storage or something like that. And then drawers on the other side. And this is what I was talking about. There will be obviously another set of bunks coming off here, so there will be another cubby for the child on the top bunk here to access. But as you can imagine, it's, you know, cubby either side, and another bunk coming. Bit of excitement there, and another bunk coming at us this way. So that is how we are intending on using those drawers. Again, something we already had and really wanted to use. We will be painting it. I don't like the colour of the wood, but you know, yeah. So that is what we're planning to do with the bunk setup as well. Okay, so talking budget. So far, the van cost us $300, the purchase price of the van, that was it. Plus we had to pay a carton of stubbies to the tow truck delivery driver to get it delivered. Then we purchased some additional items like perspex for the windows, some ceiling tape, rust paint, no more gaps, a caulking gun, pot rivet gun, so a few things that we haven't used yet, so the pot rivet gun that we'll use in the future, but we've also spent $240. So far in total we have spent $540 on the van, and that also includes a few little tip or dump shop, recycling shop purchases as well. Okay, when it comes to expenses to come, there's lots of things, but just touching on them, we've got windows, so we're going to get some new windows, and I've talked about that in previous videos, but we're also going to be selling the windows that we had in the van before we pulled them all apart, so we need to keep that in mind. It'll sort of not balance out, but you know, we'll get some money back. We've got the chassis and brake check, which was our big ticket item, the water system set up, new flooring, so pallet plywood on the bottom floor and possible lino, painting, cladding. We're going to mini orb clad the front and the back because there's quite a bit of damage, and it's just going to be a lot easier than fixing up the panels. Foam for mattresses, fabric expenses, the lights and the wiring, you know, just the general fit out. So screws, most of our fit out is going to be using pallet wood and reclaimed materials, but we'll need screws to be able to fix it all up. The solar setup, the fridge, small kitchen stuff, registration, insurance, you know, all of these expenses are going to be coming up, you know, and then there's the little things like, you know, your, you know, utensils and you know, what we're going to do for seating, you know, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. But we do have a figure of what we are expecting to outlay, and I do have a fairly detailed description down below of how much we're going to be expecting to pay for each things. And I know I find that interesting because some countries are very different of what things cost and stuff. So yeah, the total that we are going to be paying is $8,890. So we're hoping to keep it under that, but that is what we have figured the total expected outlay is going to be for the van. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to our plan and listening to our budget, and have a look down below if you want specific figures and you know, a real sort of description of what it is we're going to be spending our dollars on. Cheers!